All right, you Express Entry Law Facebook group members. My name is Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and high school teacher. It has been a little while since I last jumped on here, and it's been pretty busy today in our office. Take a look at outside. Winter is here, folks. Can you believe this snow? So, yes, it is the beginning of October, the 2nd of October today. And I am broadcasting live here from my office in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. And I wanted to just jump on quick to answer a few listeners' questions before I race off to coach my volleyball. And this is largely why I have not been able to do as many of these lately. It's because I've been so involved with coaching every evening, tournaments on the weekend. It's another passion I have. But regardless, it's good to see that a few people are on here watching this live. So this is the EE Live Q&A for today, October the 2nd. Now, I had a milestone yesterday, and that milestone was my 45th birthday. So, congratulations to me. As of today, according to IRCC, or the Canadian Immigration Department, if I was applying for Express Entry today, I would be a 0. In other words, I would get no points for age now because I am too old. And some of you may also fit into that category. I actually had a consultation today with a client who was also 44, turning 45, and because of that, he was going to be losing another 5 points. In fact, the last 5 points before he got 0. So, anyways, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Now, a couple topics. Obviously, I'm always going to pull this up, but whenever I do this, EE Live Q&As, it is sponsored by the Express Entry Complete Step-by-Step Guide to Doing It Yourself. I'd encourage you guys all to jump on, take a look at that. I'll leave it there for a second. And thanks, James. James says, congratulations on your birthday. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Okay, I have a very small window of time before my son plows through this snow here and comes and picks me up because I can't ride my bike in this stuff, and takes me over to the high school so that I can finish coaching today. But I wanted to jump on and answer a few quick questions and just teach you a couple things. Okay, first off, I wanted to show, many people say, how do I calculate my CRS points? And for many of you, it's pretty simple. You've done it 100 times, but there's a lot of people who ask me about this all the time. So I'm going to share my screen here with you. I'm going to shift back, and I'm going to go right up here, and you're going to see, you probably can't see it very clearly, but for me, all I have to type in is CRS Tool. You might want to add maybe an IRCC, which is the proper name of the Government of Canada, IRCC or CIC, maybe add an EE for Express Entry, but Google is smart. So it will produce this link right here, Comprehensive Ranking System Tool, right here. So if you want to search this as well, it'll work. Any of you who are looking to calculate your Comprehensive Ranking System points, this is where you can do it. You don't need to go to any other law firm's website to get a calculation. You can do it yourself for free. You actually don't even need to hire anyone to help you to calculate your points. You can do it for free right here. And this is pretty accurate. And it's just a simple series of drop-down menus. I'm not going to go through it all myself because we don't have a lot of time. But you can indicate married, never married. You know what? I'll do it fast. I'll do it really fast for you guys right here. Okay, how old are you? We'll do it for me. This will be fun. So 45 years. I am 45. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm so old. Anyways, what's your level of education? I'm a professional, so I've got an LLB as a lawyer. Have I earned a Canadian degree? Yes. So I'm going to get extra points for this. Describe my level. Well, it's at least a master's or professional. And official languages. Yes. I have completed my official language. And did I do a test? No, but I'm going to guess anyway. So I'm going to put CELPIP down. And I'm going to go out on a limb, folks, and say that I can maximize this. Now, I'm actually going to write this. I'm going to write the IELTS test. I could do the CELPIP, which is the one for Canada. But if you're following along at home, usually most of you outside of Canada are going to do the IELTS test. I'll just do the CELPIP because I know whatever I put in here, that converts exactly over to the Canadian language benchmark. Okay, do I have other language results? Well, I have my French 30, my high school level 30 French, but the moment I learned Portuguese, French was gone. So I'm going to put not applicable here. Work experience in Canada. Well, I've got 5 years or more. I've been working here. And then how many total years in the last 10? Well, I've got at least 3 years of overall work experience. And then do I have a certificate of qualification for a trade? Nope. Additional points, a job offer. Well, I think my firm would actually give me a job offer here in Canada. And so I'm going to take a chance and put that down. And then what skill level? Well, I'm a professional. So that's A. And do I have a nomination certificate from the province? I'm in Alberta. There's no nominations going through Express Entry for Alberta. Do I have a spouse, a sibling here in Canada? Yes, I do have my brothers here in Canada. And now I'm going to calculate my score. All right, I did calculate me, understand, as a single person, so I didn't add my wife's information in there. But if you have a spouse, then you need to do that. So let's take a look here. So I got 135 points. Let's see if I can make this larger for you guys. Oh yeah, now you can see it. 135 for education. I could probably even go bigger. Oh, there we go. That's massive. Now all you guys can see this very clearly. I got 0 because I'm 45. I'm too old. 135 for my education, 30 for the maximum points available for studying in Canada, maximum points for my language. I get nothing for my second language. I get maximum points for my Canadian work experience. So my core human capital factors are 351. Now, no spousal points because I put myself as single. And then my skill transferability. You'll see here for education, I'm getting maximum points there. And for my foreign work experience, interestingly enough, I probably should have, well, it's okay. I get 50 for that. So I'm pretending that my experience is global. It's all over the world. So 100 transferability points. And you can see it breaks it all down for you. So as I add up all the other points, I score 546. So fortunately, it looks like I may qualify. So this is how you can work out your own CRS points. And if you want to assess what it would be like if you improved your language or increased it or decreased it, then just go back to the language section and alter the points. So you can see how important language is. If I only had the bare minimum, which is 7, for each of these abilities, let's just see how important language is for this assessment. So I'm going to put writing here, and I put everything at 7, which is the base level. So I need that to qualify for at least my category. So if I calculate my score, now watch and see how that base level is affected when I lower my language score. All right, do you see this? I still managed to get in because of my Canadian work experience, but 470 points. You see how much it dropped just because I didn't have the good language. All right. So that's for you guys. You can see here, all you have to do is to type in CRS Tool, and you will be able to pull this up yourself and calculate your own scores. All right? So anyone who's asking, how many points do I have? That's how you do it. Okay. I like the thumbs up. I can't believe how many people are watching this. This is crazy. Sometimes when I schedule it, like when I did my big launch of the Express Entry Complete Step-by-Step Guide to Doing It Yourself, like I think I have just as many people on right now as I did then. Anyways, I guess it's just all sporadic. Okay, this question is from Yadwinder, and Yadwinder says, hope you're doing good. I've asked you this before, but need clarification. I would be getting married after submitting my eAPR, that's the Electronic Application for Permanent Residence, but by then, decision would be made on my case. So he's afraid that there's actually going to be a decision. He says CIC would ask for visa stamping. Okay, so the question is, can a spouse be added to the application before landing, or can it not be added once visa is stamped? Hope to hear from you soon. Okay, so here's the reality, everyone. And this is me, as it stands right now, I know because I'm working through another one of our Express Entry Law Facebook group members. I'm actually helping them to do that. Initially, they didn't include their spouse, and then they decided after submitting their eAPR, so remember, they were already married, they decided not to include them in the initial part. They got their ITA as an unmarried person, So losing no points on no 40 points. They didn't lose any of those 40 points for a spouse. They submitted their profile. They listed their spouse as non-accompanying. They got their ITA. They submitted their eAPR and then decided, I want to add my spouse. Well, guess what, folks? We're actually doing it. We got a passport request. So it's entirely possible to add your spouse after if circumstances change. And that's what happened with this client. So in this question, Yadwinder is getting married. Well, you need to notify IRCC and you have to send your passport into them. Well, ask them for an extension. Tell them that you're planning on getting married and to hold off on allowing you to provide your passport until after you get married. If you, Yadwinder, decide to actually get your passport stamped and then you go and land and you were married in between that time period, then that's going to be an issue. However, if you go through the whole process, you're not married yet, you land and become a permanent resident, then that's fine. Then you add your spouse on and include them through a spousal sponsorship process, which right now is taking about a year. So if you fail to disclose a spouse after you land, in other words, you become a permanent resident after you get married, but you don't disclose that spouse, you are in some serious trouble because you can be subject to a lifetime permanent bar on sponsoring that spouse. All right? So that's Yadwinder's question. And I'm just looking here. I don't see my son here yet. Okay. Okay, this is from Sanjay. And this actually comes right from our Express Entry Law Facebook page. And so he asked, I'm currently, and this is something that hasn't been asked before. So Sanjay says, I'm currently on a visitor visa. And so in other words, he's in Canada on a visitor visa right now. He has cleared his IELTS with a CLB 9. So I'm assuming it's at least a 9 through all abilities. Can I apply for permanent residence via Express Entry from within Canada, or do I have to leave and apply from back home? Well, the reality is, when you file your application, it's electronic. You can file it from wherever you are. If you're lawfully admitted to Canada as a temporary resident, well, you can stay here. Ultimately, you can request, when the passport request comes, you can request, try to make a request that your passport be submitted to a local visa office here in Canada. It's entirely possible. That's the exact same thing that happens with foreign workers and other people who are here temporarily in Canada. But you need to make sure that you're justifying how you're supporting yourself while you've been in Canada as a visitor this entire time. Now, if you yourself are not the principal applicant and your spouse is, for example, well, maybe your spouse is here working and you're the visitor. Well, that's totally fine. You can land within Canada. But there's no specific restrictions on having to be in your home country when you submit your Express Entry application. But what will happen is when the visa office requests your passport, they're going to go by where you've been lawfully admitted as a permanent resident or where you are currently residing. And in many cases, that is your country of citizenship. So be prepared for them to say, hey, you need to submit your passport at the visa office in your home country. So you may have to go back. It's possible. But when you submit your application, there is no restriction. All right. Awesome. My son just pulled up here. So I'm not going to have time to answer any specific listener questions right now because it is blazing crazy snow outside. As you can see, my practice starts in 25 minutes and we need to get across the crazy West Lethbridge Hill. So thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in to this short little EE Live Q&A. I'm sorry, all of you guys that were posting questions. I'll try to jump on and answer them with text after my practice. But thanks for listening. And remember, subscribe right here. And I'm afraid, actually, that this may have been blocking some of the screen that I was showing you. Anyways, EE Live Q&A today, October the 2nd. Thanks for joining me. If you have a question that you'd like to share, send it to mholthy@stringham.ca. And all of you guys who are listening on YouTube, if you would like to engage me for a consultation, or if you want to hire me as your representative, or whatever it may be, this is the way to reach me, mholthy@stringham.ca. And EE Live Q&A is what you put in your subject line if you want your question addressed in this EE Live Q&A Facebook Live video. All right. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Have a great evening.